everybody, welcome back to This Week in Magic Online Finance. I got myself a new recording chair that doesn't squeak quite as bad, I got myself a couple of new Psyducks to keep me company, and I got myself a brand new topic. We're not going to be doing weekly trends this week. Instead, I'm going to cover something that's been a little bit unheralded in terms of Magic Online Finance, and that is the changes that Wizards of the Coast keeps making to treasure chest drop rates. Now, if you primarily play paper Magic, you're probably used to prices shifting primarily because decks are doing better, decks are doing worse. If a deck is gaining market share, the staples start heading up. Once that deck stops performing, the staples start coming down in price. It's simple, it's easy to figure out, it makes sense. The wrinkle, of course, is reprints. When a set like Modern Masters 2017 comes out and a card like Liliana of the Veil is in there, the price is going to crater because the supply is increasing by so much. It's only after most of those packs have been opened, Liliana is still seeing a lot of play, the price starts to creep slowly back up again as demand starts to outstrip supply. But Magic Online adds a third wrinkle to this: the treasure chests. The treasure chests provide a continuous supply of cards into the Magic Online marketplace. And treasure chests actually have a really large impact on the market. Think about it this way: if a really in-demand card were available in treasure chests previously, but now you can't open it anymore, demand is going to increase a lot relative to supply. Same the other way around. If an in-demand card hadn't been printed for a while, it's suddenly added to the treasure chest drop table, that price is going to drop. This is what drove a lot of the price increase in last week's Sneak of the Week, Arcbound Ravager. Arcbound Ravager sees play in one of Modern's very best decks. It's also no longer available to open in treasure chests. A lot of people saw that message, realized what was going to happen, and bought Arcbound Ravager. And as a result, the price went up. In the future, I'm going to address these treasure chest changes as soon as we know about. But for now, let's take a look at the changes that went into effect on July 10th, the last time Wizards of the Coast updated their treasure chest drop rates. First of all, 3 major Eternal staples are no longer dropping from treasure chests: Mox Opal, Supreme Verdict, and the previously mentioned Arcbound Ravager. All 3 of these cards are still on the rise, and I'm not selling my copies until I see where they level. A few other things were also taken off the curated card list, but their price hasn't moved yet. Raid of Fire, Cryptic Command, Goblin Chieftain, Havengul Lich, Mind Stone, Pyromancer Ascension, Sensei's Divining Top, Soulfire Grandmaster, and Thunder Mahelkite. Should you go out and buy all these cards now just because they were taken off the treasure chest list? Definitely not. I mean, Sensei's Divining Top is off the list because it was banned in Legacy. You really don't need any copies online right now. At the same time, Cryptic Command might be a decent spec. It does still see play in Modern, and with fewer copies out there, if one of those blue-white or Jeskai control decks takes off, that could be the new Sneak of the Week. A bunch of other cards weren't removed from the curated list, but they had their drop rate significantly reduced. Here are the ones I think are the most interesting: Aether Vial, Ancestral Vision, Anger of the Gods, Black Lotus, Bloodghast, Cabal Therapy, Candelabra of Tanos, Cavern of Souls, Flusterstorm, Horizon Canopy, Inkmoth Nexus, Kitchen Finks, Leyline of Sanctity, Magus of the Moon, all 5 of the original Moxen, Spellskite, Stony Silence, Submerge, Surgical Extraction, the Tabernacle Pendril Veil, Time Spiral, and Worldly Tutor. You stick with me? Good. I'll be interested to see what happens to the prices of these cards moving forward. Some of them, like Horizon Canopy and Kitchen Finks, have already climbed in value because of this. Flusterstorm has actually dropped in price. Most of them have stayed flat. Now, I'm especially curious about Black Lotus and the Moxen. Power is at its historic low price online, in large part because it seems like they're going to be in these treasure chests forever, right? You're always going to have a chance to open them, a chance to get them. They have sort of limited use only really in Vintage, but if Wizards of the Coast does take them out of the curated card list at some point, we could see a run on the market. People love Power, and it may actually be time to look into buying your set if you've been holding off for a while. Now, it wasn't all losses, of course. A few interesting cards saw their treasure chest drop rates increase as well. Most of the available space went to the new Hour of Devastation masterpieces, but we did see increases for the following cards: Batterskull, the Kaladesh Dual Lands, Chandra Torch of Defiance, Council's Judgment, Heart of Kirin, Mana Drain, Monastery Mentor, Torrential Gearhulk. And a few cards actually saw really major increases. Fatal Push, Serum Visions, and Vesuva now drop at 25 times the base rate, and Gorilla Shaman is up to 40 times the base rate. You are much more likely to open up that card in a pack, and the price hasn't budged yet to reflect this. Now, please don't overreact to all this news, of course. In Standard, cards like Torrential Gearhulk and Heart of Kirin, they might have seen their drop rate increase, but the amount of play they actually see in top decks in that format are going to matter so much more to the future price of that card than the fact that you're a little little bit more likely to open one in a treasure chest. It is worth keeping this stuff in mind though, especially when it comes to cards like Gorilla Shaman, where the supply online is fairly low, and that's a big reason why the price is so high right now. You should also keep it in the back of your mind when you're speculating. For example, the Kaladesh dual lands showing up at 20 times the base rate in treasure chests right now. There's a lot of interesting lands in Standard worth speculating on. They've moved to the bottom of my list because of that. That's all I got for you this week. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more. We'll do our best to keep bringing you high quality Magic content here on MTGO Traders YouTube channel.